Good evening, you all. I'd like to welcome you to this new podcast, Temple Talk Tuesdays. Today's chat is just to introduce you to who we are and what we're going to be discussing here. So let's dive into it. My name is Jadalyn Rand, and I am the founder of Eylani Community Health Network. And Temple Talk Tuesdays is the official podcast for Eylani Community Health Network. On this podcast, we are going to spend our time diving into the how and why to take care of your temple. So, you're probably wondering, how do we define temple in this space? If you Google the word temple, I'm about 100% sure you're going to find a plethora of definitions. However, here's a few that stood out to me, and I think it's important to provide this context for how this conversation is going to go. So one of the first definitions that stood out to me was a building for religious worship. Next, there was a thing regarded as holy or likened to a temple in the physical common sense. There was also another one that is a place devoted to or seen as a center of a particular activity or interest. And lastly, what I stumbled across is the biblical meaning, and that is a place where God dwells with his people. Now, I'm sure this audience is going to have a few people who are raised like myself under the thought that our bodies are temples. And for this podcast, that's the definition that we're going to be referring to as we have these conversations and explore how and why to take care of our temples, right? So on Temple Talk Tuesdays, we're going to cover topics related to honoring and caring for your temple in 2023 and beyond. These conversations will be spiritually sound while remaining culturally relevant. We will do a monthly book review, critique current health trends, dive into what the Word of God says we ought to do to maintain our temple, and even interview some health and wellness experts and get their opinions on what they believe your temple is and how to care for it. So I'm excited to start this journey into podcasting with you all. If it sounds like something you're interested in, I'm going to ask that you go ahead and hit subscribe. I also invite you to check us out and follow us on Instagram at ECHN_Chicago. All of these links can be found below. Thank you for listening, and I hope this provides you with a snippet into what you can expect from this conversation. So, looking forward to jumping into Temple Talk Tuesday with you all next week, and thanks in advance for subscribing.